to Dare to Begin Life Coaching. Today we are going to talk about something that is way out there. This amazing woman has lost her husband and her child and has found meaning. And this is Natalie Wagner, and she is awesome. So sit tight, and I'm so excited. Oh, hi, Natalie.
Hello.
You are an amazing, inspirational person.
Thank you.
Now, can you explain to us what exactly happened?
Yes. I met my fiancé, Joel, when I was 19, and when I was 21, we had a son called Felix. Basically, he was 22 days old, and he had cot death. He suffered cot death and he died. And yeah, I mean, it was an absolute tragedy, and it has changed my life and how I look at it forever. And then before I was out of my 20s, I lost my fiance as well. He had a motorcycle accident and he was killed instantly. So basically, yeah, I lost my family.
Yeah. And how old were you, you said?
I was 21 when my son was born, 22 when he died. Yeah. And when Joel died, I was 29.
29 years old. You were a baby, an absolute.
Yeah.
You were a child, and having such a heavy burden on you.
Yeah. It was two separate incidents. So one was when I was just turned 22. The other when I was just before I turned 30. And it took me a long time to find any sort of meaning or anything around it, because I think I was very much in denial. I didn't want it to be real. I didn't want it to be what it was, and I was going through the stages of grief, like denial, bargaining, like was thinking to myself, well, if I hadn't have done this, or if I didn't do this in my life, would it have changed it? And yeah, to where I sort of probably just this year really have sort of discovered acceptance and meaning behind it. And I realized that it isn't what happened, because I couldn't change it, because I didn't do it differently. So therefore, how could I have known to change it if I did it again? So I realized that I was just sort of torturing myself a little bit with it, but maybe just I was living in the past. I was having a lot of regrets until I realized that I can't change it. Okay, the only thing I can change is how I look at it and what it means.
Wow, I love that. The only way I can change it is how I look at it. You couldn't control it. You didn't cause it, and you couldn't cure it. There's no logic in thinking of it like that.
No, but I wasted a lot of time thinking like that. I think most people going through grief, they do. But however, it's like you can read it 1,000 times in a book about things like, acceptance. Like, what does that mean? I guess I had heard probably close to 1 million times anyway. I heard people say, oh, there's no point living in the past, you can't change it. But it's not until you actually understand that for yourself, what it means, and have that realization that, the only thing in this whole equation that I can change, my son's not here, my fiance, he's not here, despite the fact that I'd love for them to be, but I'm here, and the only person I can change in this incident or from it, and to honor their memories as well, is me and the way I look at it. And the thing is that I wouldn't be the person that I am if it was not for their love. And I often think, like, I think about them every day, but I often think that I would rather have met them and loved and lost than never to have loved at all, because my life, because it was enriched by the both of them and the way that it was, it has meaning, and it is, well, maybe not what I have would have wished for. It is still my life, and I'm proud of myself, like, sort of, coming to that realization, I guess.
It's amazing how you found that meaning, which is the purpose of life. Sometimes life does throw balls at us, and they just hit us smack in the face, and they just bring us down. But you've used that, and you've become an instrument of peace for many people. You've used those experiences, and you've become a much more compassionate. Mind you, I didn't know that before, but what I see now is a woman who has got a heart which extends beyond this universe. It goes right out there to the next dimension, and you're spreading. You're just doing the work of the Lord. You're just giving so much empathy, and you've actually gone down to that dark place, and you have rocked that. You've touched the bottom of that dark place, and you have just bounced right back, and with so much power and so much to give other people. I just find you incredible.
Thank you. I always just I guess I've always been my own person, and at times it has pained me. But however, I have I've always wanted my life to have meaning, even if it is just how not to guide to do it, like I'm sure it will be more than that one day, but at the moment really I'm just feeling a lot of relief, like just also for my fiance Joel and my son Felix, because I'm honoring their memories. I'm not making them feel bad wherever they are, but I'm also not living my life pining for them like in the same way that I was, even though for a long time it seemed an attractive thing to do, to sort of waste away in despair or whatever it was. But it was I think it was always me trying to protest to myself that no, this is okay, we can keep going ahead, because I didn't want to admit my life was awful. And I didn't want to admit that I was I was troubled by it, and I just was sort of running as fast as I could from things like that, and mostly that. And I guess that the idea that I might be sacrificing myself for them even seemed possibly appealing at times. But I used to think about it and think, well, you can die of grief, and that is true, you can, but you don't have to.
This gift, like we've got the present, like we are living in life as in the present, which, as they said, is a gift. So we've got this gift of life, and I don't know, Natalie, this is my humble opinion. I believe that we have a contract when we come down to earth, and when our contract's over, it's time to go up, to heaven. And so I personally believe that your contract hasn't ended, and you've got a lot of work to do, because out of this, I personally believe that we've got a mission on earth, and the tormented souls on earth are the wisest souls. Yes. And they're the souls that can handle things, that they're the souls that are supposed to be gathering people and saving them. And I personally believe that your goal was to come down to earth and actually gather souls together and bring them to light. And so you had to experience what you did in order to feel people's pain, and first-hand experience, and actually to bring people together and to show them that there is light even through that darkness, and that going down that dark hole where you went through, and you were stuck there. And you said that you were wallowing, you were not wallowing. That's
that's probably quite correct. It probably was
to say that, because what you had been through,
I was suffering. Yeah, you were for whatever reason. Yeah. Sorry.
And you were getting buried and buried and buried in that hole, and it felt safe there, because you couldn't actually go out into the world and venture out, and it was scary. because you had been so hurt. But you did it, girl. You did it, girl. You jumped right back up.
Yeah, I did. So
Found that
yeah.
strength to stand up and climb out. And then you came out like Superwoman out there to help so many people. And you do. I mean, from the work you do, the love you give, and everything that I've seen in you is just incredible.
Thank you.
So
Wow.
it's funny because you said something about perception before, and that
Yes.
word just went ding. It's funny, in the past we live a life with these expectations of becoming a mother, becoming a wife, building a house, whatever. We've got all these in our lives programmed, but all of a sudden our dreams just get destroyed.
Yep.
And then you said you had a new normal arose from all that. Was like a boom, and this new normal came out of it.
Yeah.
And you didn't get stuck in the what if.
I'd say I did for a while, is what I would say. However, got a few little quotes and things that I've looked up for years, like things like, life is only what you make it, or it can always get worse. Just because something is bad doesn't mean that it can't get worse. And then you look back on that time and you think, well, gosh, if only I'd known what was around the corner, And so basically, life is only what you make it. It's a big, long now. And right now, there's a lot of people I know that are worse off than I am. They're really suffering in various ways, especially with coronavirus, with whichever side of the fence you're on. But, there's a lot of fear and people unsure. And I'm sure a lot of people who have lost people because of COVID in various ways. So I just would say to them that you've got to be your own friend. You've got to be write a letter to yourself, dear Natalie, dear, and, help yourself out of it, because your best and your worst qualities. Yeah. And, your fears. And if you do it third person like that, it can really, you can realize that you are really holding yourself back. And that if you won't be your own friend, and if you won't be friends with yourself, then what would it take to make you be friends with yourself? Because we're all only 10 metaphorical minutes from starvation, from everything collapsing around us. So just right now, just be glad you've got a holiday if you can, and if you're getting government subsidy. And for people who aren't, who are, just realize there's a lot of people out there who aren't, and they're losing businesses, and they're starving in some countries, so right now we're all pretty lucky.
We are in an amazing country. I mean, New Zealand, the government really looks after us with our subsidies. And we've got shelter, we've got food, we've got all our amenities. We're actually really, really lucky.
We really are, yeah. And things can always get worse today, tomorrow, but just don't worry about it. Just enjoy this now, the now that you're in, whether or not you've got things that you regret, you've got things that you don't. Just try to make it right with yourself. And if you need to write a couple of letters to people and apologize, then do that. It's all just about being able to sleep easily at night, and just being able to get up in the morning and think, okay, it's not what I imagined, it's not this perfect life. My son is not at a school, but I should look on the flip side. I often think, well, maybe I dodged a bullet there when I hear about some of my friends' problems with kids or whatever. But that's just my own sense of humor looking at it. Of course, obviously I wish that they were here every single day, but I don't spend long on that wish anymore, as long as I did. And I may look at something and think to myself, Joel would love that, or Felix, I wonder what he'd be doing. But it doesn't get me anywhere. So after 5 minutes or even less, sometimes I will put that thought away for later, for later on that day or whenever. And I will just, get on with what I've got to do. Yeah. I'm not perfect, but I do the best I can, and I'm doing better every day. So that's, I guess, what I'm trying to say is, yeah.
I love that nobody's perfect. We're imperfect human beings getting permanently better. That's what I see.
Right. That's exactly it. Yeah, it is. And we're all we're trying to be better than what we were. So it's got to count for something, you know?
Yeah. There's this quote that says, the past is history. The future is a mystery.
Today is, yesterday's history. Tomorrow is a mystery. And today is a gift. That's why it's called the present.
Excellent. Excellent. No, I remembered something like that. It reminded me of.
Yeah.
Well done.
I actually thought of that one just before, like maybe about 5 minutes ago when you were saying something, and you reminded me of that.
Well, you reminded me of, I love the idea of that. That's a really good activity you've said, is the third person writing a letter to yourself, and the third person telling yourself how beautiful you are. Another thing you could do, which I've been doing and has changed my reality, was Mel Robbins, the habit, the high five habit. You know,
I've heard of it, but I haven't actually, I don't know about it. Will you send me something about it?
I bought the book on Amazon, but I haven't got the book to give you. But you know, I bought it on, I bought it on audio. So basically, when you high five yourself, you're doing the act. So you're marrying a present thing that you're doing, which is high fiving yourself, with a past idea. So when you high five someone, you see them, you hear them, you celebrate them. And so by matching them together, you're changing your limited beliefs about yourself at the present, and you are and you're celebrating, hearing, and seeing yourself now. So it's such a good habit to get into, because you know, sometimes we look at ourselves in the mirror. I mean, I'm 51 and I look at my wrinkles and I say, hey, you know, you've got this, or you've got gray hair or whatever, and I sort of look at myself and I sort of make some but when you high-five yourself, you see past all that and you just see your soul, your beautiful
That's right.
soul. And that makes you
That's so cool. I like that. Because I was doing the same thing before. I was looking at myself and I was thinking, oh my gosh, is that really what I look like?
You are absolutely gorgeous, girl. What are you talking about?
Oh, my hair is only slightly green at the tips now. So like I haven't had a haircut in forever. Yeah, no, I like it too. I liked it when it was more green though.
You know, it's nice to, I think when you change your hair color or you do something to your hair, all of a sudden you change your mood. You feel, you know, you feel a little bit,
right.
You feel that, that change.
And your perception of yourself often as well. Like I've never had my hair a really way out crazy color, except for I tried to dye it, but it was always too dark. So I sort of bleached it a weird color, and I put a pink one through it. It washed out. So I thought, I found this green one, and I just thought, well, I've never had a really way out hair color that stuck. I'll do green. And sure enough, it stayed in, and it hasn't come out since. So
awesomeness.
It's so weird, but I don't mind it. I mean, it will do for now.
Weirdness is good. Weirdness is good. It just it changes your perception of things. It makes life a bit, you know, fun,
more interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, a lot more interesting. Well, I would like to thank you for your time and your spreading of love. Your spread of love, man. You're just amazing.
So are you, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Honestly, you have helped so many people, and you know, your books and that, they're just incredible. We're so lucky to have you. I really feel that. Yeah,
thank you so much. You know, if you want to join this group that we've got, I'll just tell everyone about the group. It's Dare to Begin Life Coaching. It's on Facebook, and the people there are Natalie's and Shaz's and me and my twin brother George and all these
magic people.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many other people, but I can't go through everyone. There's over 2,000 people, and it's just spreading love. That's all we do. We just spread love.
Yeah, and acceptance too, and a bit of magic. I think quite a bit of magic.
Sprinkle of magic. That's what it is. Yeah, a whole lot of magic.
Inspiration. Yeah, just
Yes.
people that don't judge, and it makes it's sort of empowering. You know, a good group of people.
Oh, it is. It's totally changed my reality, and yeah.
I can honestly say that. Yeah. So thank you for that too. Thank you, and George. Everyone.
The twin. So thank you so much, Natalie, for everything, and yeah, and keep spreading love.
I will do, and thank you for this opportunity. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah.
Thanks. Lots of kisses. Bye.
You too. Be safe. Bye.
You too. Bye. Bye. Now, I think, have I done it?